I'm an earthworm woman. In the mornings, I fill my tanks by breathing the energy of the sea and tasting the power of the sun penetrating my skin. There's an air of no care, which comes with age, and I hold my head up proudly, liking who I've become. I'm not afraid of smells, or dirt, or to walk barefoot across the stones. Sometimes I wade through the shallow water just to embrace its fluid element, my hair often crazy and loose, being pulled by and flying in the wind. I can be glamorous if I want to, although makeup was never my thing. And I've learnt that life is for living, not fearing, and so I absorb it like a sponge.
Good morning, everyone. Grand Rising, and welcome to the new year, 2026. I'm going to change that opening. I'm going to get a new one because, yeah, I'm still all of those things, but I think it's a bit wafty, and I'm a little bit more than wafty. I think this is a year for myself. All of the things I mentioned there, but a doing year. And a really strong action. And I think that's what a lot of us are doing and feeling at the moment. I've got Heather here today. I'm going to bring her on. Good morning. She's up in the far north Queensland, I believe, somewhere up there. Mm-hmm. We've actually got the sun today, so I'm happy. But yeah, we're in 2026. It seems bizarre. We've sort of met all these new people in the last 6 years now-ish. We're probably 5 really, because the first year we were all kind of either hibernating, wondering what's going on, or people standing back and going, well, yeah, I knew about that, which wasn't me. So I really am questioning where to go with Earthworm Woman, and I think I have to keep it going, whatever, but perhaps not on here. I'll still do podcasts and things, but put it onto some sort of a base of a website, or where people can go to the website. But I think what's happening, which is really lovely, I'm up to, this is 71. That's probably including some of the ones I did with Deborah, but just got this community of knowledge, and all this interesting ways people have come to help each other, and I think that's really, really good. And we were talking about what we could talk about, and I think we just have to start the conversation around how we as individuals can help ourselves, and we do that through each other as well, like I help you, you help me, blah, blah, blah. It's back to almost bartering and more. Yeah. So how are things for you, Heather, up in where you are?
Well, I think we're all going through the transition separate to our aging. And, like I'm about to be 71, so I'm standing around going, what does this look like? I'm not keen. Besides that, there's the loss of everything. Like, where's my clinic? Where's my students? Where's my everything? And I'm not on a pension. And I'm going, at least I'm not living under a bridge in a tent. At least at least I've got ground. Okay, we've got a mortgage. So that's where I am at the moment, going, I seem to have come out of having all these different shedding catastrophes because, touching anybody who'd been jabbed or even being in the same room with them, oh, look at that, I've got shingles in my other eye,
oh,
it was huge. Yeah. Me trying to actually stay on the planet, as well as contend with we're not going to have any banks. What are we going to call money? Help, all of that stuff that they keep on distracting us with. But we've got the what if we need to get some urgent care? Oh, you can see the doctor in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I didn't realize. Yes, so you have had the students, you're obviously in such close contact. And I was going to say, to me, you talk about shedding. It's been 2025. It's been a very interesting year of shedding for me. I've shed, I mean, not shed, but, I'm pretty sure it was this year I sold my parents' unit. Maybe the end of last year, but I think it's this year. My dad passed away.
You're talking about that 25, okay? So this year is 26. So let's go back a year.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, in the last year of the shedding for me, and now divorce in the last year. So it's really cleared a path, because I was looking after my dad, especially for 3 years, sort of, the only one who was seeing him, and so that's all moved, and so I really feel more and more. I've got rid of all these sort of things which were maybe holding me in different places, and it's very positive. So anyway,
well, life goes forward, and for me, I think only now, 4 years almost into being in this house, I feel as though I live here. Now that's a long time.
Wow.
I did have a major fall, which was a shedding incident again, being around somebody who was having a reaction to somebody who had been shed, and oh my God. So I had a massive brain injury, concussion, bloody face disordered, all sorts of stuff that I'm still working through. So that has been an interesting thing to negotiate, not having a brain that worked like it used to. I'm sort of getting... that was the 17th of January, 4 years ago. So almost 4 years. And I used to have an amazing brain for just about everything. And I tell you what, the maths is gradually seeping in. So I know that the concussion, regardless of the Chinese hurts, I don't know what I would have done if I'd have not known how to fix people, because I was the people. And attempting to continue with my life when I had all that other stuff going on has been awkward. And then I'm highly allergic to the ticks. And it was lovely. We didn't have ticks for a couple of months, and it started to rain, and we've got ticks.
Oh.
And my brain goes off.
Last day of 2025, I backed into someone's car. It's like the universe had one last go to turn 25. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's very interesting. I'm not going to go into it, Robert, but a little bit. I just was telling Heather, I had the most traumatic dental experience in the last few days of thing, and it's so much that I'm not going to pay them a cent, and I'm actually looking to maybe if I can get them to do some work for free for me.
Would you trust them? Would you trust them?
Oh no, exactly. Yeah, well, pay me and I'll go somewhere else. Yeah. But yeah, I would like to have you on, actually, Robert, on this earthworm one. I think it was there for a reason. Obviously, everything's for a reason. These years, and a year for us to get harder, maybe to get tougher, and to really tune into ourselves. That's where I feel. And with the Chinese New Year, which doesn't start yet, they say this is the building time. And then we put it all into action.
And we've got a full moon. I think what we need to do is sit down and go, what are we going to do if we need urgent medical care? Because I come upon people who have, and they've somehow come upon me, and I'm going, shit, what would you have done if I hadn't been there? And it was for me. And my husband, he went and did his back end. Wow, what the hell would he have done? Because I sent him to all these different people because, I've got skill set and it's not quite structural. And it's a case, well, what does the average person do? Okay, so when we're looking at our forebears, now we're white, so they came from somewhere else with not a lot. Whether I came from the New Zealand lot, so they were very Scottish. Okay, so what did they do? They didn't have a doctor to go to, did they? So they had to work it out themselves. So when I was in America a couple of years ago, I was working with some Amish people, and they've all got what to do. They've all got the Amish kit. They've all got a great big book, and they know exactly what to do because they've got their Bible. Okay, you've got the man's Bible, but you've also got the woman's Bible, and the woman's Bible is, how do you live? Okay, now if we were out there in a baboon tribe, or if we were there in a herd of cows that weren't being fenced, there would be a head of the pack and they'd know what they're up to, like the elephant matriarch. And they'd know what to do if something happened. We don't. We've been instructed and told, if pain persists, see your doctor. Now, how many fentanyl injections can they give a woman in A&E who's got adenomyosis or endometriosis or something? I don't know, but they're not doing anything besides getting them out of the place. And what do you do next? Okay, so people used to come to me next when they'd done everything. They were desperate. Now, that made them easy to work with. They were desperate. People these days, I don't think, have realised the desperation state, because I've got somebody coming in here and he has got the most phenomenal story with really bad pain. And, the pain clinic down in Cairns don't want to see him. They're not going to give him what might work, which he doesn't want to take anyway, because he would kill himself with them because he's at that stage. And they only see people who've got really bad cancer pain. Anybody else with any other pain? Well, hang on, pain's a message. Should we not be sorting out what the message is? No, let's just numb it. So then you go to something like that, and I haven't even opened it, but at least I've got that. And for those who've followed Barbara O'Neill, well, that's a good start. It's not what a professional might do, and I'm not a professional doctor sort of person. I'm when the doctors can't work, you see me. But we lost all of that. Like the witches were burned. Our mothers were told to shut up.
In the past, yes, but I think if we're talking about the people we're probably talking to here, and then obviously we want to get to the other people, most of us are looking further and not just taking the first thing that's come along, and that's and also realizing that we can heal ourselves, and we can. There's a reason. I mean, I have to say, my sister's just twisted. What do you want it like? Fallen on her ankle. And feeling this in her shoulders and this and this. And I'm telling her, okay, get castor oil and maybe comfrey. She's getting arnica. Good morning. But at the same time, she's feeling really nauseous. So something out.
Yeah. You can't just do that. Like, okay, I did a massive one on the face, but everything would have copped it. And your sister twisting her ankle, everything copped it. And if you're not careful,
going through massive emotional shit, and I wonder whether it's just like
totally, and that's the same as my husband. Like, I'm really good. I wasn't touching it really, like minorly, and I sent him to all these people that I send people to, and they weren't doing much either. And I kept on saying to him, look, this is emotional. We're coming up to Christmas. You've got your 3 children, and none of them wanted to talk to you, and it's all that jab crap, and they all know what they're doing, and we're waiting for all of our relations to die suddenly. And they're all starting to do it. And then there's us, this group over in the corner there that are going, what if we need medical care? One, everybody who's doing it, like your dentist, have been jabbed. Otherwise, they're not got a job, which means they're not compos mentis, and they're doing the least possible to keep the seat warm and get the money coming in. What do we do? So as far as your sister is concerned, perhaps get her to have a chat, and I'll have a chat to her.
She's in England, yeah. Not Rosada, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Look, I think I'm personally, I'm not. I believe that we'll know what to do when we need things. I looked at that post you wrote on the other day with this guy Billy, who suddenly was going. He was in huge heart pain, and you were saying
where's your cayenne pepper?
Yeah. And he was, I think he's quite close to you. I think he's in.
No. Let's 2,000 kilometers down the way.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. Right. Up there somewhere. Aren't you guys all neighbors? And that was really, I loved that. I just didn't love the fact he was having heart pain, but I loved the fact that all these people were going, do this, do that. And he said he spent time with this woman who gave him things and it came down, but he thought it came from the sky. He thought it was. Oh, well, I'm sorry, but in Melbourne, so many people are sick. And
I see what you mean. I thought you meant as in channeled. Oh, no, the bloody sky. Yeah, oh, dear. Like all of us are being crop dusted.
Yeah. Yes. So we have to more than ever have everything to compensate that. but because there's no getting around it. We saw it clear as day, as we all do. The lines, and then the forecast for the next 2 days is complete grey cover.
Fancy. Wonder. Now, look, if you went over to New Zealand, because I keep on wanting to go home, oh my God, I went over 6 times in 14 months a year or so ago. And you know what? My sister was busily telling me that was a normal Norwest arch. And I thought, 1, you always were dumb. 2, you're wrong. And 3, what happened to the eyes? She was telling me I hadn't been there for long enough. And I go, yeah, I know, you're all being groomed. But because it's such a small country, they can start there and do the whole bloody country. And they are. What do you call tourists? How could you possibly take a picture of the sky? You cannot, because 1 minute it's lines and the next minute it's overcast and that's the end of it. And the blue sky that is above there somewhere is not going to show up in a picture. And I couldn't live there because I was watching the native trees dying, because I've got an eye for these things, you know. I'm inclined to see things 20 years before they happen. I'm going, this was like when I was in Iowa. And the woman I was staying with was telling me about how everybody reckoned it was the Dutch elm disease, but they're conifers and they're something else and they're something else and all dead. And I took pictures of trees that should be in full leaf, the skeletons of them and the sun coming up. You know, this is the middle of summer, people. Oh, dear. Yeah, and then you've got the taste and the smell of it. And then you've got what's on your vegetables, and you're growing your vegetables.
I can't smell properly because of having that thing, the COVID. Whatever it was, virus.
Hey, what about nicotine patches? Normally I'd show you.
Done it. Yeah, no, I've done homeopathy. I'll try everything.
So, you know that thing you're not allowed? That I take one a day of 20 milligrams now from the pharmacist. IVM.
No.
Well, my husband's been putting it on the horse paste. He's actually gone to the vet and got the horse paste, and that's doing a better job than the black salve has been doing. Now he's gone back to the black salve. And he was in Vietnam and he was sprayed by 10,000 things. Okay, never mind. And that there, the ivermectin paste, is doing a stunning job with his skin eruptions that he will keep on having for the rest of his life, because he was given an experimental drug by a dermatologist about 30 years ago. Wow. Now, what about if we're talking about the trees dying? Well,
just going on, like Jason said, you walk outside with a torch at night and you'll see all the crap in the air. We'll actually have to do that. I haven't done that because
how come there's no insects? Okay, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I've seen so far 2 iridescent blue and black butterflies. I get so excited. But where are your friends and relations, mate? So you can leave the doors and windows open and there's nothing coming in. When you're going driving, you know, all of the bugs that used to be on the windscreen, where'd they go?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I just have crap. But we have mosquitoes. They can survive anything.
Flies I've got grass ticks. I'm highly allergic to them.
Those extra symptoms like loss of smell, you can thank gain of function for that. I know.
Yeah, they did a good job, but I'm inclined to go again. This is what I'd do, okay? Unsolicited advice. I'd go and get something called CH77, which I could go and get. You need to, and it's a homeopathic, supposedly chelation thing, and it does a good job of clearing out what's in the way of your nutrients. So you don't need to take zinc because it's not going to work. It's a micronutrient anyway. Your gut's not able to do it. So you might be doing sauerkraut. You might be doing heaven knows what for your gut. It's still not happening. For me, I always think you've got to do at least 3 different things before you even think that something might work, okay? So you've got to declutter, like what the hell is in there that should not be. Then you've got to reset to the factory setting. Well, hello. And then you've got to restore normal, which is going to bed when the sun goes down. You know, if we were living out there in the middle of nowhere, we wouldn't be having the electricity and blah, 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 blah. So we're not living the way that we could be living to try and resurrect ourselves. And this is an important thing, because going to an old people's home, I had a friend here who's my age who was going to see her mother's sister in an old people's home who's 99 today. They wouldn't let her go and see her to bring in a takeaway meal as a special treat because nobody's allowed to come in after 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, now, still.
Yeah, this is still imprisonment.
Yeah.
And if we get
I'm so
into
glad
that,
my dad's not here for that reason.
yeah, I'm so glad my mother's dead because I couldn't keep it together trying to help it.
Catherine,
but we've got that ahead. We've got that ahead.
Well, we just keep saying no. We keep forcing our way. When they used to tell me to put my mask on to see my dad, I said no, and I just walked in. Sorry, you just continue on. Don't, because they'll back down. They can't force you to do anything.
They're bullies.
Said, no, that's my friend. Huh?
They're bullies.
Yeah, exactly. Now with the smell thing, for me, the weird thing is I have a very bizarre, if someone's got perfume on, maybe I've already said this, I can only smell the chemicals. I can't smell the nice smell. So it's really annoying.
Okay. Now look, here's a point. Now this is going to hurt a bit, okay? This point is called welcome fragrance. And it really hurts if you put a needle in it. I haven't done it with very many people with their nose problem. You get your fingers into the corner of the nose there, and you get your fingernails in there. Hurts a bit. Has it cleared your nose? Everybody else who's watching, do this. Has it cleared your nose? Because it might. Okay. Well, it's cleared my nose a bit. The thing about the smell, though, is quite often it is the nicotine patch. So did you do the strongest patch?
I can't remember. I just got one. I mean, it's been a couple of years ago. I could do it again.
Please do it again. And yeah. I was really like this about this, and I knew it all along. And I thought, hey, they're going to have to do something. And when I'm using the nicotine patch, and I started on about, I don't know, a fifth of the smallest one, which is 7 milligrams, I've now gone to a half of 21.
Wow.
And the reason I've done that is because I couldn't breathe unless I did this. I realized that my breathing, because one of the 35, 37, whatever things they did and whatever they did, was to paralyze our diaphragm. And I realized I was not actually able to take a deep breath. So I started doing this, and I stopped doing this when I had my nicotine patch on. I thought, thank God. I also stopped having the sharp, pointy pains all through my head. And I thought, this can't be a stroke because it's both sides. You know, I'm doing this, that, and the next thing. How come this is going on? I'm on 10,000 things. I'm doing another 500. Anyway, I put the nicotine patch on. They disappeared. I'm grateful.
So you did 7 days?
I wear it continually because they continue to spray us. I don't know what we've got going on. It's like you worrying about the dental anesthetic. That's one of the reasons I've not gone to fix up the apparent root canal I'm supposed to have there. What are you going to do with me?
Well, I'll just say this particular one, which I questioning what to do with them, said it was denatured, and they got it from Perth.
Whatever.
So it had the nanoparticles and something else taken out.
So what were they putting the nanoparticles in to start with? And how come they even know it's there? Like this is actually not first do no harm material. And I would say if anyone's going to the dentist, don't take a whole lot of vitamin C before you do, because it inactivates the anesthetic. And I didn't know this with my husband, and he had an abscess in one of his front teeth. And I thought I was doing the right thing, and I was loading him up on vitamin C because I'm the naturopath of the group. And even the green whistle didn't work.
Green whistle?
The green whistle is morphine that you, when you're in deep shit and they're taking you off in the ambulance. So I got that information from the dentist, who all of a sudden had a bright idea. Have you been taking vitamin C? It's like, how did I know that he shouldn't have been? Holy shit.
So how going back, sorry, to what we talk, how do we keep our health? I mean, I think we have to connect with people like you, people like, there's a woman, I keep forgetting her name, who's all about herbs. I was telling my sister this morning, because she really wanted to learn about herbs. We have to inform ourselves of these things, all the things for which, you know, and if we have to go to each other, we go to each other, we use each other, and that's where we spend our money. You know?
Well, I think so. And so for me, I've been going, well, I'm not going to live forever. And I've got the whole process that I discovered which I've called the gentling way because it's easy, and anybody can use their hands to sort out just about everything. So my problem for everybody is, what do you do when you're in severe pain? There's only so much Lyrica, Endone, Tramadol, whatever. And what is pain? It's a message. And what's the message? Well, you don't have the right ingredients available to you in your body because they've been gradually doing what Roundup does to us so very well. And yes, I know we're not a plant.
Roundup as well. They still do that. So that must be there as well.
Listen, all of my neighbours Roundup. Okay, that's fun.
In the parks, they do it as well.
They do it everywhere. And the thing is, our gut bacteria is getting knocked off by the Roundup that we might be breathing, and forget about being amazingly pure with what's going in your mouth. Bullshit. And then we've got insects and we've got wind and we've got the water. So we have to get a grip of ourselves. So what are we going to do? That's where I start with everybody. What does Heather do? She drinks as pure water as she can. And then we can go into the Kangen thing with the pH. I'm not going to do that. And then we need to be breathing the air as pure as it can be. Well, hello to that. I've got a dehumidifier in the next room, so at least I haven't got mold where all my paper is. And you need to get something.
In my water from Mr. Go to Life.
Right. And then you've got how you're going to clear out the crap that you're breathing inside the house, because you've got all of the solvents that you can't smell because you've gotten used to. That's all going on. And so if we start with breathing, well, I couldn't actually breathe unless I actually did something. And that's where I start everybody with some, in my online courses, with a look, you've got your hands, you can help yourself. And then we've got to drink enough water.
Sorry. I just felt quite nauseous, and I will do them again. She's asking if the nicotine patches worked. I will do them again. And hi, Christine. And hi, Carmen from Canada. I actually put my Oh Canada song at the end of this just for the hell of it. So watch till the end because Canada.
Yeah, it's another story. Now, look, I did get somebody who had gone on Ozempic. And I thought, what the hell? He used to be one of my patients. Why didn't you at least ring me up and say, Heather, what do I do? And she'd only lost 7 kilos. Well, she's got a large frame. But she'd lost a sense of smell. And so I started giving her things that when I'm out in the garden doing stuff, I'm listening to podcasts, and I came upon 2 different ones on different aspects of what Ozempic does. I thought, oh my God. So I sent her them. And so she's discovered she's got the problems that are the side effects of that. And I'm going, what happened to first do no harm? What happened to being under the care of a doctor? What happened to living normally?
Yeah. I mean, they just took it without the same thing. No.
As this. Let's just play, pretend, shall we?
I'm just going to put this comment here. Just so, regarding glyphosate, dog died from intestinal atrophy. Many articles read that. Zalen, my dogs go and eat something in the park, and then they're actually a bit sick the next day. I have to stop them from doing it. They love it.
And the other part is that they'd normally be chewing on a bit of grass, like a cat. Ha! Well, that's been Roundup.
That's it. Have you tried? 2 more seconds. Have you tried the L-Ruteri yogurt you can buy from Amazon and make your own yogurt? No, I haven't. I don't.
Some of us, this is coming from Amazon. It's not coming to me.
Exactly. I don't really. I have one thing I bought from Amazon was my tripod, and it was only like this big. I thought it was going to be a big one. So yeah, I'm not big on Amazon.
Okay, so getting back to what we can do to help ourselves, we've got to start at the beginning, which is living naturally. So I've put together something called Life Recipe, because we need to be breathing and being able to out there and have decent water, and nobody's drinking enough water. And then we've got to feel safe. Well, all bets are off because we don't.
Well, we have to change. Personally, I think we have to change our thinking.
Yes. Except when you go outside and you see the lions, how safe do you feel now? Okay,
but we will be, because we're going to be bigger than it. And I'm just going to say, also in Canada, she's in dire straits. Yeah, we feel you. Don't worry. We absolutely know what's going on.
Let's have some death with that, shall we? Oh, you're upset and you're a kid? Never mind. We'll just kill you.
Yeah, I know.
Mind you can have a 38-weeker inside you, and you can choose to kill that one too now in this country and in New Zealand. So, hello, who said yes to any of that?
I know. Look, so yes, we do have all this poison surrounding us. But I think if we absolutely set our minds and our hearts to be immune to it almost.
Right, so that's why I'm suggesting the CH77. And you take 25 drops, you put it in water overnight.
77.
Yeah, and it does actually have a bit of a taste to it, if you can taste, and I can actually taste
Where did you get that from?
Oh, online. I got it from the naturopath I went to with my live blood analysis, because I knew I wasn't okay. And the ticks here give me Lyme, and then I get Bartonella, and then I could talk a lot about Lyme. And then I've got to undo the Lyme. So I get free of the Lyme, and I'm clear. This is why I've not been working. And then next minute I get ticks again. And I go, okay, well, I'm going to have to leave and live somewhere else. Where exactly? Because nowhere is going to be as pure as the driven snow. So when we look at what to do about ourselves, once we've got our water, once we've got our belly massage, which I've got things you can do for that, once we've got the gut somewhat working and us somewhat working because we live in our body, then we've got to clear out what shouldn't be there. Okay, so this keeps on happening. And whether we go, never mind, I'll turn it into sparkles or not, it's actually still going to have a problem. We're still going to have a problem with it, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. I'm not into sparkles, but I get you. Yeah, I'm just more into,
Yeah, I understand. However, we've got to do something about it. So my latest thing is that, because I felt the difference, and both my husband and I started dreaming. Now, both of us have obviously got pyroluria. So that means that we don't absorb zinc well. And there we are with your nose. Okay, so all of us have been taken out with our ability to absorb zinc, which is a long way round of saying they're roundupping us, because Roundup knocks off nutrient pathways in that which has a cell wall. And our gut bacteria has cell walls. So when people say they need iron infusions, I go, you do not. You need your zinc to be there, and you need your magnesium to be there, and your gut pH to be right.
Pass this on to this woman, Lindy, as well, because she came on here. She's had the tick thing, and no one believes her, and she has been sick with it for a long time. She's in Warrnambool way.
Well, listen, it's been around for a long time, because when I was in clinic, I was fixing people who fixing like a car mechanic, fixing people who had all of these things, but it was a multi-pronged attack. It wasn't me being an acupuncturist, a naturopath, or anything bloody else. It was me standing back and going, in your case, we better do X, Y, Z first. And so that's me being the consultant of the group. And this is me up here going, well, I'm no damn used to people sitting up here trying to deal with my own health stuff, because at least I know what I probably should do, and it is taking a while, but it is getting fixed. The rest of the people out there are no longer at work, and they might be being kicked out of their house, and they can't even think properly, let alone have the money to pay for whatever. And going to the hospital, forget about that, because unless you're about to die, look, I just don't know what's going on here.
But more, as much as we can, we have to go natural. And so with this, tell me about the CH77 though. What does that mean? What does it stand for? What exactly is it?
I don't know. I'm at the point of going, whatever works, I will do it. And if you go online, of course, there's going to be it's a detoxing agent. I'm just looking up on my computer here. I've got a page on it.
Also, while you're looking up that or whatever, I've got to get one of your. I put it into the thing around this interview, but I want to put one of your website as well.
Well, hang on a minute. Can I put this anywhere to you? Or, is this got a chat function?
Put it in a
is
chat.
There a chat? Where's the chat going?
Private chat on the side.
Really? Good eye.
Yeah, and I'll put it on.
All right, well, look, I'll put the CH77 there, seeing I've mentioned it. But the page that I'd probably suggest people go to is one I've called Courses. Oh, dear, because that there is, you can start thinking about, and it's going to look different shortly. We've been playing with this for a while, but the other thing to look at is, did I turn my sound off by accident? Can you still hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you. I must have. Can you hear me now? Right.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So that's courses, because I don't know what site that you should send people to, because I've got about 24 of them, you see. So
it's not just one website.
No, sorry. No, I've got too much to say. When I did my phone apps back in 2013-14, I put one up called Heather Says. And Heather Says then gives you a basic understanding of what is going on in the body from an acupuncture point of view, bearing in mind I'm not allowed to call myself an acupuncturist, because 9 years ago I said stuff it to APRA because I could see where they were putting everybody, and I didn't think that was a good idea. As in, let's all get jabbed. And I thought, no, my kids are vaccine damaged as I am. So when we're looking at something like Lyme, they're not allowed to say it happens. And you know why not? Because it might interfere with our beef exports internationally.
Oh, right. Of course. Right. That's it. So there's Heather's courses link.
Yeah, but that leads you into it, and it will get better, because I've been attempting to work on that. As far as general, this is me trying to help people. Look, you've got your own hands. Use your hands. That's me. The one about, I've got one up there called Solutions. And then you can, and I put that there because I thought I was going to do a research project on saving babies after 24 weeks, because there seems to be quite a rush of babies not made properly, and then they come too early, and all the rest of that. So Solutions has got all my nutritional stuff in it. So you've got some things to start with, and they're all under Heather Bruce Healing, but no, some of them aren't. But there's too many.
I'll put the second one up as well, the detoxing. I keep putting it onto my, I won't put it on YouTube. I'll do it onto this one. Oh, that's YouTube again. There. Missed a phone call. I reckon it was probably the dentist.
The thing is, we all need to know what our great-grandmothers would have known, because they didn't go to a doctor. There wasn't one, and they didn't have the money. And part of there wasn't one is they were all fighting at the fronts or whatever, you know, like they had to do something. Now I'm going to tell you a really silly story. I was treating somebody who had, first of all, chopped his thumb off, then he'd chopped his arm off. And while he was telling me this, I was looking at his arm, and he had them both attached. Now he was a German fighter pilot at 15, and so there were no doctors, because they were all following all of the you know, all of the World War II troops as they were killing everybody else. And so on his last foray, he got out alive, but his arm wasn't working any longer. Anyway, he just had to carry on. And then sometime later, how did he not? He cut his thumb off when he escaped to South Africa, as a lot of them did. And his father had a great big farm there, and he chopped his thumb off. And so he brings the thumb in, and he wants it reattached. Well, the doctor's busy trying to tidy it up to knock it off. Well, he gets really pissed off. He's German. He gets pissed off, and he's going to have to find somebody to reattach his thumb for him, because he's going to be no good without a thumb. And he hears clip clop, clip clop, clip clop, and it's the African woman who is behind the desk, and she said, "Go and see this guy." And so he did, and there wasn't even a scar. Far out. And he's telling me this story while I'm doing something else to him. I'm going.
I thought you were going to say that they put the thumb on where the arm should be and the arm where the thumb should be.
No, separate issue. And then he chopped his bloody arm off.
Oh, so
and I'm looking at him with his 2 thumbs and 2 arms.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, there he is. He's in the theatre, and they're starting to tidy the stump up, and he's yelling and screaming. And his father, who's a doctor, comes in and stops them. We've got the fads of medicine, and we've got what has to happen. And we are not supposed to be wandering around with bits missing because it's easier.
No.
That's all I've got to say about it. And he was a young thing when it started, and he was an antsy thing. Forget about the pain that it was causing him. He knew he had to live with a thumb. He knew he had to live not with a stump. And so did his dad. He'd been no use on the farm. Okay, so this guy still had all of his bits. And that was because they would have used plants common sense, and whatever else that people used to know. Because our forebears, when they was before flying doctors, they either did what was needed or they died, didn't they? So what happened to us?
Yes.
We got told to go and see the doctor.
Yes, and of course, you know, there are many things that we, you know, save people's lives now.
I'm not saying don't go, but what do you do
Yeah.
if you're going to stand there for 3 days in acute abdominal pain because everybody else is coming in ahead of you and you're 80 or something and they don't give a shit?
Yeah. Yes. You know, there were certain sort of
what to do
surgeries and things that we know about this last year, and I won't go there. Yeah.
However, we do have fingers and we can use points. Okay, so here's me being practical. If you find somebody who has lost consciousness, now I've saved people from dying with this, you get your fingernail, okay, a third of the way down between there and there is a point that's rescue consciousness, and you grind your fingernail into that. I have used it with an acupuncture needle to save my ex-husband who was dying because he couldn't breathe. So I've saved a few people's lives putting a needle in, but you can use a fingernail and it will actually bring your consciousness back again if you need it.
Wow.
You need to know these things, but here's the heart.
You know about the heart attack, yeah.
I'm getting to that. Right. Yeah. So this is loss of consciousness, including dying. And just on that, there's me with my 39 years ago, my massively brain injured going to die baby. What am I doing? I'm getting my foot. Okay. Where is my foot? I've got to go. There's my foot. All right. You oh dear, it's over that way. You take your finger up until you get to there and you get stuck into that. Now there she is dying in isolation in ICU and she's not breathing and they're doing whatever. And I go down there and I attack her kidney one and she comes back again. You don't need needles. You need to know what your hands do. So
it's your baby. Your daughter?
Yeah, she's 39 now, yeah. She's massively brain injured. So I know a whole lot of things about things I wish I didn't, and that's one of them. She's still in nappies and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so getting stuck into that point brings people back again, as that's their reserve tank that they need because now they're dying. So that's what I did with her. You don't have to be specific about it. You run your finger up and there's the point, whack into it. And I'm not sure if I can get my other, yeah, look at that.
You did it to her and not,
yeah. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to find where my foot is. Oh, there it is. Good.
That's the same foot.
Yeah. I can't actually find it. You can't even see, can you? Deary me. I go opposite. Hang on. Here we go. There. Right. If you get your foot and you run your hand up there and you get to the bunion joint and in there, you get stuck into that and it'll bring somebody back. It's a loss of consciousness thing. So look, and TCM is not acupuncture. TCM is the cancel culture, herbalized, medicalized thing that they're now doing. So what we need to do is realize that we can use these points. The heart attack. You've got your hand, and acupuncture points are relative to the person. So if this is a baby having a heart attack because it's happening, where's their magnesium? Like their mother's placenta was. Anyway, there's the wrist crease. There's the hand. 3 fingers up in between the tendons. And you sit there, and that's going to open the chest. Now, I've used that to save somebody who was anaphylactic with cigarette smoke. So there's things that anybody can do, but they don't know. And that's my course.
Yeah, and like you did with, there's obviously the cayenne pepper and also coughing.
Apparently, right? I don't know, but I have solved somebody's heart attack by getting stuck into another pointer further up there. We need to know, and I think at school we need to know, and I think I probably should write a homeschooling course for first aid for the kids. Because what happens if their parents all of a sudden
absolutely
have something happen and they're out in the middle of nowhere, and what's the kid going to do? Well, the kids learn stuff. They're like sponges.
Okay, so my granddaughter is learning everything you're talking about. So where's that, Susanna?
Oh, she'll be doing a TCM course. And as I said a minute ago, TCM is not acupuncture. It's pretend acupuncture because it's been herbalized and medicalized because they did a cancel culture thing in China. So what's allowed to be taught and what we old people who were doing it before TCM came along are quite...
And they're putting things together now, I hear, like naturopathy into the medical doctors.
No, that happened about 30 years ago, that they started enculturating everybody, so they all had to learn Western pathology, and we don't need that. We need to know what the elder people knew.
But this is when we had the thing with Deborah. We were talking about teaching around birth and everything, what passing on, but taking it into schools perhaps as well. I mean, chances are they probably wouldn't let you.
Oh, there's no research. You know, when I was doing first aid courses, because you had to be an acupuncturist, and every 2 years we had, and then they had another update on what you should be doing. And I said, look, while we're doing that, why don't we do? And I'm not sure about the coffee, because you need magnesium. The reason everything's shutting down is because where's the magnesium as a detox and also an undoing everything. But everybody's got a different reason for the asthma. And there's breathe-in asthma and can't breathe in, but can't breathe in asthma. You put your fingers down here.
Another thing.
And if you can't breathe in, that'll help you breathe in.
Sorry, off topic, but also relevant to what we're experiencing more and more now is so many people have got mold in their houses. We've got it coming back.
Dehumidifier next door. I'm at the moment where it's filling up within a day because it's raining. We've got to get rid of the moisture out of our houses.
I've got mine in the bathroom, so I'm thinking they're going to come and do a major job.
Look, in New Zealand, I had a dehumidifier in every room. And I did that because I always live around trees, and I've always got a whole library with me, and I didn't want everything to have those brown spots eventually. And so I was spending lots of money making sure that my bits of paper were intact. And so that's what we all need to do for our health.
So you've got lots of rain at the moment up there, have you? Yeah, I saw about that rain.
Well,
somewhere.
no, we haven't, because we're at the dry side of the divide. So you've got east and you've got west. Over the divide, we get what's left. We did get 54.5 last night, but there they are getting meters of rain down there 1.5 hours away. We're not.
Look at this, Heather. Gosh, this lady is so knowledgeable.
Well, thank you, and I'd hope so. I was teaching people how to be acupuncturists in 1981, so I'd hope I knew what I was talking about. And as I said, I was the one that everybody went to when they were waiting to die, because in times past, the doctor shook your hand and said, get your affairs in order. Now they just tell you to take fentanyl.
Yeah, well, isn't that horrendous that that's so accessible now in the hospitals, whatever.
Shall we talk about endometriosis just briefly? Because every second woman seems to be told they got adenomyosis and they don't even have pain. Well, what happened to the medical profession? They've decided they've got, a faddish condition for the month. And so what they're doing is telling everybody who've got endometriosis, they've also got adeno, and they do not, because you have to have had a cut. This is Heather's research over the years. If you don't get adenomyosis unless somebody's cut through your endometrial lining to then have the migration of the endometrial cells in where they shouldn't be, and then they respond to the ovaries, and then they're supposed to shed, but there's nowhere to shed to. So then those women are groveling around on the floor and are being given all of these idiot pain relievers. I have fixed adeno as well, but that's with somebody who's really keen on sorting themselves out, taking everything, doing everything. It is possible. It's not simple, but it is possible. But they shouldn't be doing laparoscopies every 5 minutes, and they shouldn't be doing C-sections.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, if you can go there, I know. It's the urgency thing of all of that is insane.
But you end up with these young women who are getting their bits chopped out in their mid-20s because they can't sit down. Forget about what would you call it? Forget about sex and having babies. They can't pee, they can't poo, they can't sit down. Shit. And so what are they being told? Oh, let's just chop it all out. I get frustrated.
That's this just sorry, you could go so many things into that we've talked about. We will, that's another whole thing, but getting back to your courses and things like that, and we, like, Heather was, well, I don't know what you want to call a partner, a supporter, which
He's
is
my
also
husband, actually. Tech support.
No. You want to work with Earthworm Woman as well, however we go. And that's what I'm building now as well. There's another woman, Julie, is going to come on with her German new medicine situation and stuff. And I think this is just the grounding of what we should be doing, connecting all of these things. You know, we have different things. I'm not a I'm just, well, I'm a performer, I'm a creative person, but I am always interested in health. And this sort of just become a natural thing to bring people together, to bring people that make the beautiful products together, people that know all the knowledge together. And
and we're sidelined because we refuse to work in the situation that we find ourselves. In order to work, I have got to pass through so many hoops which have got nothing to do with health, and they're not authentic, and I will not do it. And there's a lot of us sitting out going, well, what are we supposed to do now? We've sort of got ourselves together a bit.
Well, that's me as well. I know. I'm going, okay, so you're doing a bit of support work, but I never seem to be able to get any. I've only got one guy. That's fine. And maybe I'm not supposed to do anymore. I do role play work when it comes along. That's never enough. You know, what else can I do, which is a bigger thing? So I can go, okay, support work, that's fine. I can say bye to you. You know, I think a lot of us are like this. So we need to really be streamlined. And that's why I'm going to make Marooned, the film, so that I can focus on selling that and whatever. Anyway, that's one thing. But your courses, if people want to come go to you, I put the things in the notes, in the comments, so you can go back and have a look at them. Go check her out and check out the courses, because we have to inform ourselves. We have to help ourselves. So
we've got our own fingers, and we can be doing it at home to those we love, including our pets and our own bodies, because we need to. Oh, and then it's the gallbladder. Oh my gosh, somebody got hold of me because she was in the hospital and the surgeon was trying to convince her she needed a gallbladder out. And her husband was desperate to have her gallbladder out because he kept on saying she was going to die if she didn't. And I said, just a minute, what's that going to do for you? She said, oh, that's the cure for my acute pancreatitis. And I said, really? Have they got you on antibiotics? And she said, no. And I said, oh, they've obviously got nothing much to do in the Gold Coast Hospital today. Anyway, so I'm a naughty person. I suggested she might do some of these things and do some things like go home and get more magnesium and slap it everywhere. Put castor oil on there, for goodness sake. You know, where's your vitamin C? She went home. She's never felt better. That would have been another gallbladder out. And then what?
Risada I said she was feeling tight in her throat, right? Doesn't know where it was from. The thing that she's found is green apples. Just releases it.
Hopefully they weren't sprayed with something. You know, like we've got a problem these days. We've got as it was and as it is now.
Well, they have to be organic for a start, but even then, I know.
There's the stuff from the sky that we're pretending isn't there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Having a sense of humour is good.
Thing is, you know, like even the one guy I do support with, he's 96 and a half. And he got some grapes, and I said, do you want me to wash them? And he said, nah. I said, you know, I don't bother with that, because whatever's got on it or in it is gone right into it, you know, and you can't get rid of it. So he's 96. So I'm thinking, well, you're 96. You know, doesn't matter. And it's not going to take it off anyway. Yeah. You know, whatever they've sprayed. I don't know if there is something we can use to
I think he's right. Look, for example, strawberries. Strawberries is probably the most toxic thing you can possibly have because they're so prone to mold. So they've got so much bromide in them, which is knocking off your own iodine, and then your thyroid's not going to work. And so we go. Anyway, we're not going to go down there. My son, who's now 31, had been fine eating strawberries. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, he's at the Logan Hospital not being able to breathe, and all they're doing is throwing more Ventolin at him. Well, I needed to know what to do. And when you're the mother in that situation, you sometimes don't think of the first thing first. And the last thing he'd eaten was 2 punnets, not 1, 2 punnets of strawberries. And he'd been fine with strawberries up until then. So I came home and I had to review what was going in his mouth. But also, if you're going into hospital with a kid who's got acute asthma, all they do is throw more and more and more and more Ventolin at them. They don't actually fix the problem. And that's why I went into acupuncture in the first place. And that's why, look, oh dear, where am I? That point there, 3 fingers, might help open the chest. I was mentioning this one, if it's breathe in, can't breathe in asthma, that's not most people. Most people, it's at the back. And I'm not sure if you can see. Oh dear. I've got a page on fingertip rescues, and I'll put that on emergency points. And it's not actually fingertip rescues is, I'm not calling it. I'm not calling it acupressure because it's you've got fingers, use the damn things. If I just put fingertip rescues there, you can look at the emergency thing for breathing, because I did that. I'm putting that there in your private chat thing. I did that years ago, basically for me in the birthing thing, because most people don't realise that Dad's the epidural if he'd only use his fingers. If he stopped listening to them telling her what's going to happen if, no, why don't you just get in and do it yourself? We can do things ourselves.
Yeah. So someone's raspberries are the same. It's true. They grow mold as well. But what was I going to say? What was I going to say?
Don't know.
Oh, well, no, if you call it fingertip rescues, see, this is the thing. Everyone thinks, oh, I can't think what to do. I can't remember. Was it this? It was that.
Is it your fingertips? Yeah, just check.
Exactly. And it's just very basic things to put back into our brains. It's worth trying if something actually does something immediately, and then you look further to what else you can do.
Yeah, and I know a whole lot of other things, like when somebody has a sore something, I don't know, like one day in clinic, I dropped an IKEA flat pack on my big toe. I'm full of patience. I haven't got time to sort myself out. And, I know that if I just Reiki that, I'll be good. All right. But I didn't have time. And later on in the day, geez, I'm in a mess. And so while I've got needles in somebody, I'm sitting up there on the other couch and I'm attacking my thumb. Why am I attacking my other thumb? Because it's a mirror. Your body's a mirror, one part to the other, up and down and left to right. It fixed it. And that's what I was used to doing with patients. So I thought, I better just fix myself. And so people don't know that. And if it hurts, go to the other side, or if it's your big toe, go to the other thumb, and you poke around till you find exactly, like your sister should do this with her ankle or wrist. What did she just do?
No, with her ankle. She what do you call it? It turns.
She turned it over. Right. She goes to the opposite wrist, and then and I don't know that I can do this either. It's a bit tricky. If you could, if we put your foot up there and you put your other thumb there, and I've got to see if I can do this.
I don't want to stick my foot up there.
Can you see? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's got to be that way, doesn't it? So if you've damaged that, well, you find the exact spot on your thumb thingy, and so she'd do the same with her smashed up ankle. She'd go to her wrist, and like she has to work out, is it the big toe side or is it the little toe side? So then she's on the relevant part of the opposite hand, and then she starts poking around, and oh my God, that's so sore. Right, well, massage it. Oh, look at that. The ankle doesn't feel as bad. Exactly.
Wow.
The body mirrors itself, and they don't teach that in TCM. So what we've got going on is the expert here going, well, what would I do if that was me? Because that's where I've got to.
Yes. So there we go. Someone's just said, thank God for this in live. I've lost faith in hospitals and doctors in England. She's in
England.
England.
Try Australia. We're up in the middle of nowhere. This is just not okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been to a hospital in a while. No, touch wood, I'm not going to be going to anyone, but not for anyone.
I have to rescue people who've been there, so I haven't.
Not other people. Yeah, that's what I meant when I said that. So I don't know the state, but I think we all, we should forget the horrid fluoride in our water, most of which goes on our gardens.
And so then stuffs up the microbiome in the soil. And so the soil isn't able to do just the same as our gut can't, the soil can't. And then the trees die because they're not talking to each other any longer because they've been shut down.
And sprayed buggery at the bottom with everything so that, yes, they can't.
Yeah. I've got a new neighbour. They've rounded up to everything. It means I don't have to do as much weeding as I did.
Oh, that's just horrendous. I hate when they do that everywhere. Anyone else got anything they want to ask even to Heather? Because I think go to some of her things and have a look, because this is, it's where we go. And not
ask those people who might know something as opposed to those who are not allowed to say it, because that's where we're in now. This going back to Lyme. They're not allowed to say. Well, look, I had blood completely full of Bartonella. And it's going to cost about $3,000 to get the right test done. And the answer is yes, fix why you've got the rheumatoid arthritis. And I had a little kid come into my clinic once because the grandmother said, go and see Heather. She helped you get that baby in and get the baby out easily. She'll probably know what to do. Well, yeah, I've had 4 kids. So young girl comes into me with this baby. Did you know that they've got infant? No, whatever the hell it is. Something you give for rheumatoid arthritis for old people. They've got an infant version of it, whatever it was. Voltaren, I think it was. Infant Voltaren, whatever. I know. And I'm looking at this kid going, holy shit. So what are we going to do about this kid, I think to myself. Yeah. And so I ask a question nobody does. You were okay until you weren't. What happened? Well, this kid was fine until she went on a girls' night out down in Sydney, left the kid at home with dad, got off breast milk and went straight onto a bottle and lots of bread. Okay, well, the body's got an inflammatory response to what you're putting in your mouth, and he's not allowed to eat any of that any longer. So because I've been the mum who's had kids with all sorts of problems, I'm sitting there writing down what she is and isn't allowed to do, because I can be that nasty naturopath if I have to be. And she had no other options, and she believed me and blah, blah. She went off and did it, came back the next week and was a bit bored. I was like, yeah, but the kid's not as bad as he was. And I had in the clinic another young woman who was an acupuncturist who hadn't done the right thing, and she'd buggered up her kid's gut as well as her gut. And so she was able to natter to this woman and tell her, yes, she has to do everything Heather said, which was handy. Anyway, so what happened? At the same time I'm seeing this woman for the first time with her kid, I said, I don't like having to ask this question, but eventually I have to bring it up. Is he up to date with his his injections? Oh, we're going to go to the pediatrician next, and he's going to give him the next round. I said, no, he's not. What the hell? This is the same as these well baby visits. This guy, the kid can't turn his head. Point 1. Point 2, the kid's joints are up like this. Point 3, he's screaming all the time. And point 4, mum is bored. Once we've fixed the kid, she wants to go back to a normal diet because she doesn't like having to do all this. And I'm going, okay, so I happened to meet this kid in a market a couple of years later. Geez, he was a mess. He was the most hyperactive little shit you could imagine.
So she did go to the thing.
She went back to what she was doing, yeah. And when we've got rheumatoid arthritis, we've got our body in distress, and we've got to go back to, was it ever okay? And if it wasn't, because these are my 3 questions, why you, why there, and why now? And for this little kid, it was pretty bloody obvious what had happened to him. He'd been jabbed too many times.
Sandy Eliadis, why don't you get in touch with Heather? with this rheumatoid arthritis, if you've got that, because that's where everything starts to turn, isn't it?
Well, it will. That's rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah. And I used to have people coming in with their claws when I first started because there weren't anti-inflammatories. Like when I started back in the late 70s, mostly I was dealing with people's pain. Now, they're worse now because they have the reasons for the pain, then they've been on the painkillers and they're addicted to them. And then what are they going to do now? They've got to get off this pharmaceutical drug addiction that they've got, and they've still got what they had, and their liver is not happy.
Yeah. So one thing I just say I've started doing now, and I've learned this is a really good thing for everything, I suppose, is the clove water. So boiling up. I got it wrong the first time. I did tons.
Hey, listen, there's probably, if everybody go, and I haven't even opened it, but it seems to me she must know what she's talking about, same as Barbara O'Neill. We've got to, and when you were raising your children, there might have been, you probably didn't know about Dorothy Hall. There was before that, I've forgotten her name. There was somebody.
Naturally. Yeah. You know,
there's a whole lot of us older women who get, we'll see about that, and we start writing our thoughts down because we have to, because we were young once. And thank you. I'd suggest people do get hold of me because I don't shut up, and I've probably got the answer. And if not, I know where you should go to find it.
I'm still young. I don't like that word old. I'm just who I am. If she's going to get in touch with you, and I'm just started doing the clove mouthwash, and also just drinking a cup. I'll do that every day. See if I turn into
the Amish deworm themselves 5 times a year. Did you know that the medical profession reckon we don't need to at all? Well, hello.
I have it in my ankles, very painful. They had me on morphine. I took myself off and hurt, but
I think you need to get hold of me. Look, the first thing to do is to go and get magnesium, and you can't use too much magnesium on your body. You really need magnesium. And if your body arcs up to magnesium, then you have MSM in the spray with it. And I suggest people, because I've ended up with a whole lot of after effects from obstetric operations, if you do 9 squirts of magnesium oil while your pants are down on the loo, and you put your hands together so it warms them up, then you stand there and you rub on your bum and your thighs and all that, and then here and here, wash your hands again. Every time you go to the loo, you don't have to put it only on the area that hurts. Guess what? It shuts up. And my husband, with his damn backache, eventually he did what wife suggested, and he used it untold times, and it fixed it.
Now, a question, because I didn't realize there's so many different types of magnesium. So which one is it? Chloride?
Look, the easiest thing to get hold of is, I'm just seeing what's in the clinic. There's a whole lot of different ones. And I don't know that it matters a great deal when you're doing it oral.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got oral as well. Have you heard of silicia? Mine's got silicia in it.
Yes. And the light wave patches might be too.
Oh, there's the light patches. Is that what you've got?
Well, I wouldn't be on the planet if I hadn't been using them. But I discovered with Duncan's back problem that they weren't doing much. But I don't know how much worse he would have been without them. Because you need the ingredients, and you also need to undo. Why is it happening now, Duncan? Well, we were coming up to Christmas and we had everything that was going to come to pass. Okay, so you've got to ask these questions. Why me? Why now? Why there? Why is it on that side and not on this side?
Okay. Now just we do have to do things for ourselves. I know that because I've got 2 dogs and I'm well aware. Yes. And just on the patches, this woman who put that up. Yeah. Look, I was approached about doing that a while back. And the fact that it's one of those kind of like, you get into it, you sell it, then they sell it.
It sounds like a cult. Yes, I get all that. And if you're in a diabolical state, it actually tends to fix things. And that's what I've been doing with people when nothing else has worked. Sometimes I've said to people, look, why don't you go and get the patches and see what happens? Because at least it will do no harm. At the very least, I know it costs, but I wouldn't still be on the planet.
They wanted me to be a seller, that's all.
Yeah, of course they did. Yeah, of course they did, because they can see all these people that you contact. Look, I was looking like Joe Biden. I was falling down all the time, and I couldn't remember my words, and my brain wasn't functioning. Thank God for the patches, because you would not have me here.
Yeah. Well,
and
there.
As far as which magnesium, doing it oral is a different thing. Doing it on your body, I think it doesn't matter goddamn really, because it's like with what sort of magnesium is it in your food? Well, your body's not stupid.
Well, magnesium
is everywhere now. It's all like 20 years ago. Who would have thought? Now it's everywhere because it helps your body detox everything. You make your own glutathione with it. But again, the mercury, the aluminium, the everything else people have been jabbed with, etc., stops your body from seeing it. So you can't actually see it. It's like the zinc, your body can't see it. The selenium, your body can't see it. So what's happening with your iodine? Oh dear. And so when we're talking about the patches working at a cellular level, they work at a light level. And our bodies are emitting light all the time. So our animals can see us as beings of light, as can the bees, but we can't because we've been shut down. And so the light that's coming out of us can be retrained, she said, taking her life wave patches off her back of the neck again, and put on.
You just packed up. You've got nicotine and life wave.
Yeah. Oh, you name it and I'm doing it, like really. Yeah. And the CH77, that's only a tiny amount of what I'm doing because I'm attempting to stay the one that I was 20 years ago, not because of aging, but because of what has been happening to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's I'm nothing wrong with that. I agree. Yes.
How do we stay well? Well, we get ahead of it all. And so there's the magnesium at the toilet. And when I'm teaching at other people's houses or whatever, I've put magnesium spray bottle where you're sitting on the loo, it's there. In my case, it's right there. And so I've only got to get over myself now and go, I did it before, yes. And if you want to stay well, you're going to do it again. And that can undo the person with the sore ankles. That can undo the pain, particularly if you get it mixed half and half with MSM. And the other thing is some people are now doing lotions and creams and gels, and they're specifically for sports problems, which is what you're talking about.
Can give you diarrhea if you have too much. We don't have too much.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is I'm not saying oral, am I? I'm going, hey, come on.
Right on your bum, what you say.
I've been using the patches since the middle of June, a year and a half ago, and within 2 days I had my brain back and I had my energy back and I was able to function again, thank God for that. And my problem with everybody is they go, it costs too much. I go, shit, well, I was wondering if I was going to need carers. Now that's me with the bright brain. I'm thinking, oh my God, I couldn't remember what I was going to say next. I was a goddamn mess. Now this is part of the shedding, okay?
Yeah, no, you have to do what you have to do in that situation. So
the whole thing is awkward. And then the people who are selling patches, they go patch. And I go, just a minute here. If you're not drinking enough good water, it's not going to work. If you don't have enough good minerals going in, I'm not convinced. If you're in a state of you're not ever going out because everything hurts too much, well, what they say in protocols is not what I'd say as the acupuncturist who was teaching acupuncturists. So I don't know. But if people can't poo and that they're having, they're doing all sorts of things to try and bring the poo down, well, by all means, take a lot of magnesium and vitamin C because you will poo.
Oh, okay.
It's not simple. All you have to do is not pharmacy.
Doesn't Epsom salts do the reverse? Doesn't it actually take the magnesium out?
I don't think so. In fact, this is another funny story. This is me with my very damaged daughter. Oh, shit. You don't want somebody who's profoundly autistic. You just don't. And that was dental work done on me when I was 5 months along with her, and that was all the mercury. Anyway, as well as the MMR vaccines and all the rest of it. So there she is, and she's holding on to all of her poo, and she's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So I send her to the hospital. They, which patches? Perhaps contact me and I'll talk you through it. Getting back to the magnesium and the Epsom salts, I knew she had to poo. And I didn't know what the hell to do with her because, she was blowing up like a balloon because she could control whether her pupils dilated or not. So she was controlling her autonomic nervous system. I thought, sort you right out. And I only had a little bath. So I put so much Epsom salts in it, put her in that. And she pooed all through the bath. Good. That's what was needed. She could not let it go. She could not hang on to it any longer. The magnesium came into her system and she had to poo it. Okay, so mothers do what they need to do.
Okay. Great.
You know, like there's things that you can do.
Eat pears and pawpaw. Look, thank you, Heather. I'm just, you know, that's lots and lots of stuff. And I think if people want more, they need to come and see you or go to your website, your things, because you're, you know, it doesn't have to be in person, of course. So wonderful. Eat the patches. No, you know, the patches are worth every penny. I haven't done them. I might look at them again, but you know, it was just, I didn't want to be all like, oh, I'm just a
you don't want to be pushing it on anybody who
yeah, I don't want,
because they don't work necessarily for everybody. And the ones I've seen it work most for is the most diabolically crook ones. But then you've got to know what to do, and not necessarily on the protocols that they're talking about. And this is me going, well, I'm the acupuncturist of the group, not the TCM practitioner, and I think that's bullshit. And this is not where I'd put that point. And if you put it there instead of here, I think you're going to find better results. Oh, look at that. They have, I don't think, and this is me. I'm opinionated. I'm told I'm opinionated all the time. I'm going, well, what is the point, literally, of putting a heart point here? Okay, it's near your heart. But that point in acupuncture, she's down there, that point in acupuncture has nothing to do with the heart. So why the hell would you put it there? Why not? See, I've normally got carnosine there because I've got my viral myocarditis happened from the first gain of function. They threw it as SARS-1 back in 97. So I get to do it all first. And so I get to work out what to do because I had cardiomyopathy and nobody could diagnose it. And I had a prolapsed mitral valve, which I still have. And I had to work it out myself because I was in a diabolical state and nobody could sort it out for me. So I had to do it myself. And when I got rid of the mercury in my body, I had to go off the ACE inhibitors that I'd been on for 18 years. If I'd have still been on them, I'd have been dead when I got the first Wuhan that came into the clinic from Asia in October 2019. So I'm one of the first in Australia who got it. And so when they started waffling on about how you have to save grandmother, well, just a minute, I'm the grandmother and I've got more immunity than the rest of you because I got the original strain from Wuhan. And it nearly killed my husband. And that's where my taste disappeared and the sense of smell disappeared. So I'm aware of what you have to do.
I was asking about the patches. Yeah, we were also talking about nicotine patches earlier on because I've lost my sense of smell.
Just a minute, I'll get you the ones that I think are best, okay?
And also, while we're on this thing, anyone that does go to Heather, please mention Earthworm Woman because that's how perhaps, and we haven't worked out yet, but maybe a little bit something towards me for promoting people.
That's a very good idea. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, there's the ones that I don't use because they are transparent and I can't find them and I don't think they stick well. So these are the ones I do use.
Nicotinell. Okay.
The reason I do that is because it's still got a patch in it. I can see it. And that's not because I've got old eyes. Yeah, chemist. No, it doesn't have any in any longer. But it's a skin colour. And I chop them.
Okay. Yep. Well, maybe it's time for me to do that again. Yes.
Please do, because the worst thing it's going to do is nothing.
Yeah. And it's been too long. It's boring. I mean, it's annoying. It's annoying when someone's obviously got something really nice and I'm like, stinks. And I can't really smell the dogs, particularly if they've done a poo, which is probably a good thing. Yeah, I know. It's weird. Just
remember to see if this is going to help.
I'm going to do that afterwards. Do that. I found you Earthwoman first. Oh, good. I don't know that. But yeah, so please seek out Heather. I think there's about
and say where you've come from, and I'll send it. Yeah, we'll get something sorted out because this is need funding. I need funding. People need fixing. Energy exchange.
Yeah, and eventually we'll do in-person stuff. I see. I've been talking to Julie about starting these big kind of retreats where people like you are practicing, and people like her, and someone's selling stuff, and
doing it for ourselves.
And I'll be just floating around like an earthworm woman. I don't know. I might do some physical things because that's my thing, as well.
Get everybody to loosen up.
I'm a very physical person, and I've been doing a lot of these lymphatic stuff.
That's what my courses are about. Hey, why don't we do something as passing? Everybody do a vaginal pull-up or a perineal pull-up if you don't have a vagina. And this is your tester. Okay, so you're doing that, and then you're moving your head from side to side, and then you're getting your hands, and then you're going like this.
There we go, Susan. You've got the same thing as me.
Okay, so you're doing this, hang on a minute, and then you're doing the other side, and then you do your pull-up again, and the damn thing's stronger. You go, right, it's all connected. And if you do this and this, it's probably, you got more. All we need to do is get moving.
Get moving. I'm a mover. See, this is why I'm also trying to get off here, because it's enough for me to be sitting. It's really, I'll actually go a bit, I just need to, Anyway, lovely. Thank you, Heather, for coming along. And thank you, everybody, for watching. It's really been a great little show. Susan's coming to see you. She also can't smell. So I don't know where you are, Susan. And there's Fiona, of course. Yes, I told you this is where we're going. Even if we did it sort of somehow, I don't think we can.
I think probably we do a membership site. I think that's probably what happens. And then I do a membership, and here's the bits, and you pay X amount per month or whatever. And
I download online, but eventually, I think it's also in person. But anyway, I love all these people who come on here. Seriously. And I'm very grateful for everyone because I wasn't thinking, I was thinking, where am I going with this? But I actually, every time I think that, I know where I'm going. Susan James, contact.
If you look up Heather Bruce, you're bound to find
I'll just do it again. It's because it's been on paste. I'll do it again. It's all in the comments.
I'll tell you what. I'll put contact here. Contact. And it will show up Heather Bruce. Oh, that's my Heather Bruce site. I've got so many damn sites.
I'm just speaking of people doing their own thing as well. You're a massage. Wow. Yeah. She's coming to Australia in March. Let's do it in March. Yeah, let's do it.
Where?
Do it. Well, she comes to Melbourne mostly because
I can go anywhere.
But that's enough time to arrange something. Yeah.
You could, because I can then teach all the gut stuff. Everybody has to learn how to sort their own gut out by putting the viscera back where they should be. Well, who's doing that?
Who's Lonnie Hawaiian, and that's also Maddalena.
That's the Hawaiian,
Yeah. But it's like an exotic shop, isn't it? Like with all the
we've all got our own special bits of the jigsaw.
Yeah. Wonderful. So you've put something in the chat. I'll just get that and put that up.
That's the contact for me.
That was the last one. Yeah. They'll find you. Don't worry. We will.
There's not a lot of Heather Bruce is about.
I hope the Canadian woman is still here. Victoria for me. Yeah. So she's coming to Victoria. We'll make sure there's sun when you come.
Good luck with that.
Well, last time there will be. There's sun all week. And so I'm trying to do two things at once. Done it. There you are.
It sometimes works.
And I'm going to end now with Oh Canada. It's not for bragging purposes. I put a post the other day on Facebook. I've barely done anything. One of those things came up, like a past thing. And it was me when I put this blonde wig on. I was working at 000.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
I worked at 000 where you take the first emergency calls and you've got to be fast. You've got to be everything. And I was working there New Year's Eve. And so we got to dress up, and I just crouched down by my locker and took a silly selfie. So it came up. I thought, this is what I'm doing on New Year's Eve, and then I thought, well, here's me now, and it was a photo I'd taken of me being trying to pretend I'm a waxwork in the car, but I'm always getting hot then cold, so I have my coat half on one arm but not on the other. So people misread me. I said, now I don't know whether I'm hot or cold. And they go, oh, you're hot. Like, because they had to make me, no, I'm not. I wasn't looking for that. I was being silly.
Yeah. And when we talk about the life wave patches, I suggest everybody starts with Eon, not X39, because sometimes X39 is too strong for people. Eon calms you down.
Right, because the X39 was the one they were trying to tell me to do.
Yeah, everybody's trying to push that on. It's twice as expensive, point one. And point two, that was the one I used, but I've been doing 10,000 things, so it was going to be fine with me. It was bloody brilliant. But one of my students, she couldn't wear it for 3 years because it was too strong for her, and she's in such a goddamn mess. So whereas the Eon doesn't actually affect anybody badly. Right. And that helps with the hormones, and it calms you down. Yeah. And it's half the price of the X39 and blah, blah, blah. And it's the one most likely to help anybody, because if you're in pain, you're very upset. So the first thing you've got to do is calm down.
Yeah, because all your pain, the more you're in pain, the more your stress levels go up.
And where's the magnesium? You put more magnesium on them. And why aren't in the hospital why haven't they got them all hooked up to vitamin C? For goodness sake. And liquid glutathione if they're detoxing. I mean, the things they could do and they are not doing.
I'm just going to say to Maddalena, I'm not doing your ad this week, and it's for no reason other than I'm doing the O Canada song. But please, if you want any products from Maddalena, get in touch, because her beautiful and the bark flowers, hemp flowers, I took that before I went to the dentist the other day.
Good on you.
And the beautiful intimate duet stuff. I can smell that.
Is that for downstairs?
No, it's for faces, it's for bodies, it's for everything. She's got all kinds of stuff. So everything through Intimate Duet that goes through me, I get a tiny percentage. So this is the community of us. So I will just end now, and thank you, everyone. And we'll be in touch. We'll be here next week. I might even do something in between. Who knows? Except I'm working this week. But anyway, lots of love. Au revoir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. And I'm going to end the stream.
Nothing much good rhymes with communism. Elitism, globalism, government-sponsored journalism. Oh, Canada, oh, Canada. Nothing much good rhymes with communism. Captivity is a surety in a 15-minute city. Canada, oh, Canada. You don't want to live under communism.
I don't know what he's gonna do, or where he's really planning to go. But I do know that nothing right for true love.
fundamental skills of constantly complying. Canada, oh Canada, nothing much good rhymes. Communism, communism. Gastro, Monsanto, two words that rhyme with Castro. Canada, nothing much good rhymes. Communism, communism. Liberty, creativity, exploring your humanity. Canada, oh Canada, you can kiss that all goodbye. Under communism.
I know that you know what you gotta do. It's either gonna be him or you, or nothing will ever rhyme with Trudeau.